I'm showing solidarity to my brothers and sisters from Palestine. I love my Palestinians. I'm Arab just like them. You know, I'm here to show support. That's it.
Hey, long time no see. I'm doing great and I hope you are too. So the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is being brought up constantly on all media platforms and it feels pretty much unescapable. I didn't see this being brought to our attention, at least not to this degree, since these people have been practically at war for decades now. It's unfortunate, it's horrible, it's what I've come to expect from man. It is what we do best, isn't it? Human nature. I'm not the most knowledgeable person on the matter and I'm not privy to the entire history. I'm not Palestinian, nor am I Israeli. From what I gather, the Israelis have occupied the Palestinians' land and Hamas, who don't necessarily represent the Palestinians, took action on October 7th, 2023. Again, I'm no expert on the matter, so feel free to rage tap at me as hard as you can if you feel I got something wrong there. Put your soul into it. Now, what I do know about this war is that I'm absolutely fucking tired of our media and government taking the Israeli side immediately without question, gaslighting the shit out of the Palestinians, then push this agenda on us in a pathetic attempt to convince you and I that Hamas are evil for what they've done. For the record, I want to state that I oppose and condemn violent acts against all innocent civilians. All life is precious in this world. And secondly, the Israelis have done it too, long before this battle began. You just don't hear about it in the West because our media and government are biased.
We stand with the Palestinians and we stand with Arabs, and they try and change the narrative because you own the narrative, see? This is our problem. You own the narrative. You own the United Nations. You own Hollywood. You own all these mouthpieces. Where are our voices? Our voices need to be heard as well.
That wasn't my question. We do not have a clear picture of what happened on October 7th because unfortunately, too much of the media has relied on the Israeli military talking points which are given directly to them. Until neutral observers, are able to establish the facts of October 7th, I will not allow the talking points of the Israeli military to become dominant of what happened on that day.
All you see in our headlines is how much loss the Israelis have endured, how much of their people have died. It's fucking sickening the way we're ignoring Palestinian death and all the shit they've been through. Haven't they bled? Have they not endured atrocities? Both sides have experienced casualties, but evidently the US is fine with highlighting one group's pain because it's the only pain that matters to them. Clearly, we've been bought, and I'm sure that's nothing new to folks who are aware of America's ways and all the fucking horseshit politics we play every day. But I'll repeat myself. Gaslighting Palestinian suffering is disgusting, and I'm tired of seeing it.
I condemn Hamas. I condemn Hamas. I condemn Hamas is the source of all evil. They're a reason for everything. And you know what? Let's for a minute imagine a world without Hamas.
Right.
What will this world look like? Let's give this word a name, and let's name this word the West Bank. Hamas has absolutely no control in the West Bank, and since the beginning of this year, only through August, 37 Palestinian kids were killed. No music festival, no paragliding, no Hamas. Since the occupation of the West Bank, 7,000 Palestinians were killed. No music festival, no paragliding, no Hamas.
The narrative is aimed at protecting, defending, and enabling Israel because, after all, they're only defending themselves, right?
We are not all right. And we're not going to say we have a stiff upper lip and act like everything is fine. Everything is not fine. Israel has a right to defend himself, and that's the right that we know.
So Mayor Asshole, what you're telling me is no one else has the right to defend themselves, huh? Israelis have also taken Palestinian lives for decades, but I guess that's okay because you've been told what to say and have no balls. Gotcha. To make the agenda even more obvious and fucking absurd, Israel has been placing ads on YouTube perpetuating their victimhood.
Hamas declared war against Israel. Armed Hamas terrorists infiltrated into Israel via a ground invasion and started going door-to-door slaughtering innocent Israelis. Hundreds of Israeli civilians, including children and women, have been killed or injured, and Israeli hostages have been taken. This is a war, and Israel will take every measure necessary to protect our citizens against these barbaric terrorists.
Unbelievable. I don't know how much of that is true, but when you have to put an advertisement out in order to gain support or curry favor, it looks suspicious to me. Innocent people don't need to sway opinions. The righteous will win the audience organically without pointing fingers. Then again, even Jesus had enemies, right? You know, before this current war started, I was neutral. I didn't really care. I didn't feel the need to choose a side since the conflict doesn't affect my people. And I consider the whole thing sad for everyone involved. But the more blatant propaganda I see on YouTube and television, and the more I see our dirty ass politicians aggressively pander to Israel, the more I side with Palestine. Their story and pain is most definitely being ignored, on purpose. If someone tried to occupy your home and demand that you submit to their will, I'm sure you'll eventually, if not immediately, resort to violence as a response. Like I said earlier, it's human nature. Man will fight for what is rightfully his. My point with this video is to encourage every viewer, in case you haven't been doing so already, to ignore American media and all other global news outlets that you catch enabling one side while gaslighting the other.
But do I see you guys crying for Palestinians? I mean, Chris Christie was just on here treating it like it's no big deal because what, Palestinian lives don't matter? I think the real bigotry here is saying that Palestinians, we can kill 3 times as many of them already, and this is the appetizer. Netanyahu and his barbaric government have not even started the entree of murder and death and mayhem they're about to do, and that's somehow okay.
Your fight is my fight. That swastika not only displays the pain of anti-Semitism, it displays the pain of racism among African Americans. You marched with us with Dr. King. You stood with us with all the fights we have.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It pisses me off the way the entire story is not being told here. The US has an embarrassing history of being wrong and instigating battles it has nothing to do with. My government has lied to the masses before, and they're doing so now. If you find yourself interested in this terrible situation, I recommend you do your own research and draw your own conclusions. If you disagree with me, that's fine, as long as you, on your own, concluded so. More power to you. I already know where I stand, and I'm totally confident in what I believe to be just. Fuck the media and our dickless politicians. Thanks for watching.